Folks, give us just a second. We're waiting for our two councilwomen to rejoin us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to call to order the Highland Park City Council in-person and virtual regular meeting scheduled for Monday, May 16th at 7 p.m. It is now 7:04. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ashafi.
Here.
Councilmember Martin. Here. Councilmember Manica. Here. Council Pro Tem Robinson. Present. Council President Thomas.
Here, thank you very much. Moving on to item 3, that's the approval of the agenda. Members have had an opportunity to review the agenda. Right now, the chair will entertain a motion on item 3. Ms. Manica.
I move to approve the agenda with an addition of adding the DTE bill payment kiosk to the agenda.
Could you be more specific?
I would like to add it to propose a motion.
Ma'am.
But I didn't know if I could make that motion right now.
This is the approval of the agenda with that motion. The chair will offer a second to that.
Questions?
Yes.
Did we not vote on this item at the last council meeting?
We did.
We did.
Okay, so my concern and question is, it always raises my antennas, you know, my spidey senses, whatever you want to call it. When after council voted on something and it comes back to us, why to push so hard for it?
If Miss Manica, if you would.
Yeah, so as council, I as council is bringing it back because the DTE bill kiosk is actually a program from DTE. And it is that they actually put in, police chief I see is here, can vouch for this or kind of verify. In Chicago, they put the kiosk inside the police department so that it is safety for seniors. So if you know, now there are a lot of credit card companies, DTE utility companies that if your check bounces, your card doesn't go through, you're late for so many times, they have to use cash. And so now that means as an older person, I'm going to a real circulated area that I may have to pull cash out of my purse. I will feel more safe inside a police station doing that. We also have someone there in the police station that can open the door for you, etc., up until those hours. It is probably only going to be business hours, but either way, it adds a sense of protection. And I have people that actually have asked and said, why didn't we? Or we love to have it in there. Also, there's no fee. So again, I do see the chief here. If there is anything that I said incorrectly, please let me know.
Okay,
there's no fee to pay at this kiosk. It's
so Ms. Manica, Ms. Manica, I totally understand that. I got no problem with the kiosk. And you use Chicago as an example, a city with close to 40,000 police officers, probably more than that. I'm probably underestimating the number, but I agree that we could use the kiosk, but this council's problem was where the kiosk was placed. Believe it or not, that this is not a full-time police station. It's not a full-time police station. It's not open on a regular basis where residents can get to it. Council Pro Temp herself has said she has gone to the police station several times and was unable to gain entry, okay? We simply suggested that maybe it would be better served at the rec center, which is also another secure location that's open 5 days a week on hourly basis from 9 to 5. Anybody can come like anywhere else in Wayne County and use that kiosk and pay their bills. That location at the rec center on 10 Pickens is completely secured. And on top of that, officer can be placed there like it used to be before the new administration took place. Used to always be an officer at the rec center during business hours. All we're simply saying is, if you're going to place it somewhere where the people can access it on a regular daily basis. And hold a second. And I don't appreciate the administration and the chief going to the block clubs, telling them, let's get petitions together to keep this kiosk at the police station. I don't appreciate any of that, okay? You are the police chief. Let's do the police chief stuff and leave the politics to this council, which is where it's supposed to be.
So right now
I'm not
we have
being
a
jerk
motion
about
on
it,
the floor.
but I didn't appreciate the blind
We
side.
have a motion on the floor for the approval of the
Okay.
agenda.
Okay.
Ms.
I do not
Manica has
appreciate
made
the
a
blind side.
motion. Ms. Manica has made a motion to approve the agenda, reintroducing the idea of having the free
Sorry to be there.
DTE kiosk provided for us at a secure location with, in the presence of our police department. Right now, we don't have anything at all. There's a motion on the floor made by Ms. Manica, supported by the chair for the approval of the agenda with the modification of the agenda to add the approval of the DTE kiosk at present. Of the other 3 members who are seated before me, do you have any additional questions? Anything on this item? Madam Pro Tem?
I have a question because it's not in the resolution that was in our packet.
We could, ma'am, it's happened before.
Is the city
It's-
and the police station, are they gonna charge, BP is gonna charge us to put that in the station?
So if I'm allowed to answer questions, I
Please,
got a few things I
no,
need to say.
we just need to get this agenda.
Okay, so maybe we'll hold it for later.
Yes, sir.
If it
Yes, sir.
gets on the agenda, then we can go back and ask those questions.
Yep.
and Continue the discussion.
Yep,
I just
so
want it on the agenda.
I don't see any further questions. So on item 3, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll? That is the approval of the current agenda with modification of adding a vote to accept the DTE kiosk at the Highland Park Police Department. If you would call the roll.
Councilmember Ashafi,
No.
Councilmember Martin. So we're voting to put it back on the agenda?
We are.
Yes. Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, the item is added back to the agenda, Madam Clerk. We will put that. If we could put that as item 8A, we'll make it 8A and the public hearing will be B. Agenda has been approved. We're moving on to item 4, the approval of the regular minutes for the April 15th meeting. City Council, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, April 15th, 2024.
Chair offers a second. Questions, discussion? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 4?
Councilmember Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. At this point, we move on to our agenda. As we do every week, we turn over the floor to Mayor McDonald to give her an opportunity to address the citizens and council. Mayor McDonald, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Madam, the
Good
floor is
evening,
yours.
citizens. Thank you. Good evening, citizens. Good evening, council. Good evening to administration. First, let me make a statement as to why my presence will not be held in the council chambers. At this time, I will not be there until an investigation has been completed by the police department as well as the courts on an incident that happened. I am going to be available to you at my meetings, my coffee and conversation, and any time that you would like to request a meeting with me, you can reach me at 313-900-6739, or you can email me at gmcdonald@highlandparkmi.gov. I want to thank everybody who called, who was concerned. I am doing well. I am okay. And I just wanted I put a package of all the information that's happening this month, along with the calendar. It's a little thick. So there's an event. I'm hosting a Walk the City this Saturday coming up at 10 a.m. We will be exploring the southwest side of Hamilton. If you want to join with me, please meet us at 10 a.m. on Tuxedo and Hamilton, and we will walk those streets. Also, as you can see, Coffee and Conversation will be the second Wednesday of this month at the police station at 10 a.m. I'm exploring to see if I can get the 5 p.m. reinstated. It wasn't a very big turnout in the evenings, but that was during the winter, so we'll look to see what is needed. Also, at the Block Club Association meeting, the chat with the chief did collaborate with the Block Club Association, because both of those were on the same day. And citizens asked, could that be a possibility of happening continuously? The chief and I will look at that to see how it will work for both entities. And also, if you have any concerns, I'm seeing people post their concerns on Facebook on the Concerned Citizens page. Please contact me or contact my administration immediately. If the police department, if you see something happening on the streets, please do not hesitate to call. They are available. Please call my office. When we get the information, the quicker we get the information, the quicker we can address the concern. I have had people contact me directly, again, at my email or text message me, so that I can make sure that the department heads is aware of what the situation is. And I am looking forward to working with you all in the capacity of the mayor in my meetings until at which time I return to the council chamber. But I will be on these Zooms, so if there's questions for the administration, we will be writing them down. Make sure you state your name and your address if you would like. If not, you can always send it to me directly. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the portion of our regular meeting where we allow citizens to speak for no more than 2 minutes on an item that appears on the agenda. I'm assuming that everybody has a copy of the agenda. There's the opening bid, the mayor's veto, community development, city council affairs, Department of Engineering. If there are citizens who would like to step forward to speak on items specifically on the agenda, please step forward, state your name, and let us hear what you have to say.
Hi, my name is Brian Donovan, or Mr. Stolarski tonight. I am here to ask that council override the veto of the resolution amending the bond of the treasurer. I want to thank the mayor for taking the time to explain to Lisa and me why she vetoed that ordinance and sharing the letter that she sent to the clerk to veto the ordinance. I appreciate her taking the time to do that. But neither of the two state laws that were cited in the veto apply to our situation. The Michigan Compiled Laws, Chapter 85, Section 12, is an excerpt of the Fourth Class City Act. Highland Park is under the Home Rule Act, so that law does not apply in our city. And MCL 21142 relates only to securing money collected by a city on behalf of the county and other governments. The law does not apply in this case. Now, I notice on the agenda that the veto has been amended, so maybe there are laws that are relevant that are in the veto now, but what I was shown was a citation of those two laws that do not apply. So why, I ask, would the mayor cite two laws that don't apply in her veto? Well, I'm left to conclude that the mayor and anyone who helped pull that veto together is stalling in order to delay and discourage my wife, Lisa Stolarski, from becoming the treasurer of the city of Highland Park, as she was lawfully appointed. Lisa's approved for a bond of $500,000, and if the previous treasurer had a bond for more than that, with the city named as the obligee, show the council and the people that bond, and Lisa will be bonded at the level the previous treasurer was bonded. According to the charter, the clerk maintains all public official bonds on file. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Additional citizens that would like to be heard?
Good evening, everyone. My name is
Good
Renee
evening.
Ford and I live on Vista. My question is about the kiosk. Council Kashid, we bought it up because there is a need to have that kiosk here in the city. And being at the police station, I would feel a lot safer going to pay a light and gas bill of $700-800 in cash. I don't have a credit card. I don't want a credit card. So when I carry that much cash, I would be real comfortable knowing that I have an armed officer there. And you talking about putting the officer at the rec center, wouldn't that take away from his regular duty? So you're gonna add him there 5 days a week? You don't have to answer that. I'm just like,
This is for citizens' comment, not council.
thank you. Also, the mayor didn't encourage it. He didn't push it. It was the citizens that were at that block club meeting. We are really concerned. I don't want to go to Imperial in Detroit and pay a bill when I could walk to go pay that bill, when my mother can walk to pay that bill. Any citizen, be it male or female, we need that kiosk. That would also encourage the police department to stay open till 5:30. Most companies close by 5:30. So I would like to ask you guys to vote yes to have that kiosk put in the police station.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, council. How y'all doing?
Very good, ma'am. Yourself?
Yolanda Rowland Muse. I'm a returning resident to Highland Park. I'm in your district. I want to talk to you. And just happy to be back home. I'm glad that Renee stepped up and said what happened, because I don't want you to feel like you were ambushed. That's not the goal here. The goal is to work together to provide services that the constituents would like to have. So I want to champion with her to say, I hope the two of you would look at it, maybe make some recommendations other than taking it, to the rec center, because that was never brought up when it was originally brought up by the chief. But I'm sure there's something we can reach a happy medium, right? But to just shut it all the way down because of individual experiences doesn't do well for our constituents. So I just wanted to touch on that first piece and just support her and let you know it was brought up by us because we were shocked. All right. And then the second piece, we keep visiting this issue with a treasurer. How long have we been talking about this, you all?
Almost 2 months.
2 months? 2 months. Wow. Something's got to change, doesn't it?
2 months since her appointment.
Well, I don't believe she was appointed, was she?
Yes, she was appointed.
She was appointed?
That appointment cannot be confirmed without a bond.
And that's where I was going. So we talk a good game, but we don't have the proof. Dollars and cents and data makes everything, right? So if she's not capable to get what we need or qualify, why are we still pushing that agenda? It's so interesting that you said it, your spidey tenant, right? That's how I feel with this. My grandfather was the treasurer of Highland Park from the early 80s to the late 90s. He died while he was in office. So I take the Roland, Mr. Ben Rowland, yes. So I kind of take homage to that, the way we're handling it, because I know what he had to have as a treasurer. And I don't think the city is asking anything that no other city treasurer has to do. It's just we need to do our research and educate ourselves on exactly what we need for our city. So my time is up, beloved.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all, have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no movement towards the podium, we will move on to I want to thank the citizens for speaking up on the agenda items and setting the record straight. That is crucial. You can have your own opinion, but you can't have your own facts. So moving on to item 5 is the bid opening for the ambulance transportation service. Madam Clerk.
There was one bid received from Rapid Response.
From Ms. Lane. Thank you.
I don't see a single quote in here. It's broken down into different sections.
So Madam Clerk, am I correct that once we receive these bids, they're turned over to the department heads?
Refer to administration for a report recommendation.
Okay. So the ambulance bid is different than the other bids that we received for actual hourly services like lawn service and snow removal, tree service. This is just a single package that will be turned over to the administration.
Yeah.
Members of council, the clerk is, just for the record, the clerk has made it clear that we received a single bid for ambulance service. Can you give me the name of the vendor again? Rapid Response. We received a single bid from a Rapid Response ambulance service. This is for ambulance transportation services, and that bid will be turned over to the mayor's office for review as a single bid.
Do you have a certificate of liability insurance included with your bid?
Any questions on item 5 from members?
If I heard correctly, there was no quotes though.
Let me,
there was no
let me stand corrected. I found the page. Total yearly cost for ambulance service is $320,000. And there's 2 options listed. 2 other options. It's a one-time payment for contract service for year 2024, 2025 in that amount. And there is an option 2, Monthly payment for contract service would be $31,250 per month.
So if we did it month, okay, just for the people in the audience, if we accepted an annual contract, it would have a rate of 320. But if we did it monthly, there would be a $55,000 increase in what the actual services would be for 12 months. That makes sense to everybody? So if we, just like any other service that you get, if you buy it for the year, you have a particular rate, but if you go month to month, the rate is slightly higher. Just wanted to make sure we did that for the sake of the audience. A lot of what we do here, you don't get a chance to see. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Just wanted to share that information with you. So moving on to item 6. We are at,
Need to make a move and support, refer to administration.
so, okay, thank you very much for that clarity. So right now, the chair would entertain the motion to accept this bid and refer it to the administration for further review. Madam Pro Tem, I see your hand.
Yes, and I see the bid that the clerk passed out today, that is still open until. Oh, this is for more services. So where's the actual bid for the?
We extended that and that's how we got to this.
That's today.
We extended it through today. Whatever we don't have today, the bidding window has closed.
All right.
Chair is open to entertain a motion to accept this bid and refer it to the administration.
I make a motion to refer to bid.
We have a motion on the floor from Council Pro Tem, seconded by Councilman Ashafi to receive this bid and refer it to the administration. Any additional questions, concerns? Hearing none, Madam Pro Tem, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll for item 5?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes for referral.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to item 6, under the mayor's office. This is a veto and a revised veto. This is the resolution regarding the amendment to the bonding requirement for the interim treasurer, Lisa Stolarski. Council, what is your pleasure? This is to overturn the veto.
I make a motion to overturn the veto.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor from Council Pro Tem, seconded by Councilman El Shafi. Discussion. So we're making a motion to overturn this veto. We're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room.
So can we read the revised veto?
This is just, they made a motion to overturn the mayor's veto. Are we gonna talk about the elephant in the room is my question. Why the mayor is not in the building?
Council President, that has nothing to do with the veto.
So,
Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 6 to
I have a
override the
question,
veto?
Council President, I raised my hand.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, so, you know, this keeps going on and on and on, and it's funny how nobody pays attention to what's going on. The requirements for the treasurer have been met. The only thing that is missing is the city's end of information to the underwriter to complete the bond. And that was a statement of fact in the last council meeting. The city needs to do its part to give the information to finish the underwriting. The underwriters cannot finish the bond without the city's information. Okay, and a true point was brought up that the clerk is the keeper of records for the city of Highland Park. We have asked numerous times, where is the bond for the people who have bonded before her? Where is the information? Who was the bonding agency? Nobody knows nothing. We have yet to receive an answer. But every time I turn around, we're trying to stall out, letting her do her job and moving the city forward. She was duly appointed. She came here. She jumped through every hoop in which this council put forward. She was the only one that showed up for the interview. She got the job. Why are we sitting around stalling this woman out? It makes no sense. The city can do
Sure.
this work in a matter of days, yet they're steadily stalling her out and not giving the information for her to finish the bond to get to her job.
Thank you, Mr. El Shafi. The clerk would like to respond.
All I'm simply saying is everything else has been met. For those of you who think she can't get qualified, that is a lie. The underwriter cannot finish the work until he gets the information from the insurance and the internal controls from the city, which they have yet to give.
It's inaccurate. Madam Clerk, you said you wanted to address this issue. Please go right ahead.
Just let me make one thing clear. Yes, the charter says that the clerk is the keeper of the records, but you can't keep records that you don't have. And down through the years, not only that bond, minutes from other board members, meetings, you're supposed to make sure that the clerk gets a copy of all minutes from all meetings. That has not happened. Just like contracts, that has not happened. It's a lot of documents that are not on file at the clerk's office. I can request them, but I can't make a person give them to me. So yes, the charter does say that. And no, I do not have a copy of the bond on file. And I don't recall anyone reaching out to me, asking me for a copy of the bond.
I can show several emails I sent, Madam Clerk.
I actually wrote a resolution.
I'll tell you, she wrote a resolution. I sent several emails, never received a response.
Well, I didn't see the resolution, okay? But I don't have the bond. If I had the bond, I have no problem in giving anybody a copy of the bond.
Okay, all I'm
So
saying
I
is.
appreciate it if you stop saying that the clerk is refusing to give the information.
I didn't mean it on that term, Madam Clerk.
That's what you're.
I didn't mean it on that term, Madam Clerk. So I apologize if that's what it seemed like I.
Okay.
implied.
All right, thank you. Madam
apologize.
Pro Tem, I saw your hand. Nothing? Ms.
Council
Martin, would you-
President, Council President,
Hold
can
on.
I ask Mr. Bosnick, the lawyer, to speak to
I want to
whether
make a quick point.
just a second, madam.
I just want to make a quick point. You brought up the fact that the reason why the mayor's not here. One really has nothing to do with the other, and I agree with whoever said that. No, the mayor actually said that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, that's why we are at this point, is because there's, for some reason, we're stalling on getting her bonded. She showed up for the interview. She was here. She submitted a resume, and she's the only one. So at this point, the question is, who do we talk to? What's the next step? Who's the next person that we talk to? That's it.
Council
So-
President,
So right now, hold on just a second, Madam Mayor. I'm gonna recognize you. Right now, we have a motion on the floor to overturn a veto. We're having discussion about that. I'm gonna bring the conversation back to the veto because shortly we're gonna call for a vote as to whether or not we're gonna overturn this veto. Madam Mayor, do you wanted to raise a point? Is that related to the issue on
I
the
was
floor, ma'am?
asking the lawyers, have he received communication from a bonding company asking for documents? Because that's where that's who's supposed to receive the information and then retrieve the information that they are requesting and send it. So I'm asking Mr. Bosnick, who has been working with Mr. Lasky, because Mr. Shafi is assuming that we've received this information. Mr. Bosnick, have you received the information from the bonding company requesting the documents that is needed to move forward with her bond?
Could I address?
Please
that,
go
Mr.
right
President?
ahead, sir.
As of Friday, the bonding agent that I've been in communication with, as well as with Ms. Solarski, he was waiting for some financial information, and also I believe he requested a copy of the last audit. So that was where it was left on Friday afternoon. I did not receive any communications today. Mr. Donovan did indicate during public comment that Ms. Stolarski had secured a $500,000 bond. That would be news to me. I've not seen any bond authorized. If there was a bond authorized, it would come to the city attorney's office for approval.
Thank you very much. So, Madam Clerk, we're going to call the roll on item 6. That is the override of the mayor's veto, if you would.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes, to override.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Manica,
No,
Council Pro Tim Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas,
No. The mayoral veto requires a supermajority or 4 affirmative votes for an override. The measure stands. Moving on to item 7 under community development. This is the resolution to sell the vacant residential side lot at 16027 Edward Street to the adjacent property owner at 16025 Edward Street. Lou Bishop.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion on the floor from Councilman Ashafi,
I'll second it, but I have a statement.
seconded by Councilwoman Manica.
So I'm probably going to end up approving all of these. And I still think that we should really thinking about the number of lots that we are selling. Because you want people to live here. Now, unless people are talking about building on these properties, we need to really think about that before we give all these lots away and there's nowhere to build a house. Because we've given everybody a lot or 2 lots, 1 on each side. And also, I'm gonna ask the same question I asked before with Mr. Hinton. Are we surveying the lot? Because if you survey it and it is a certain size, then it has to have a building plan. If it's over that size, and I don't remember what exactly that number is right now, it has to have a building plan, being that that person needs to build on that lot. We will receive property taxes from a lot being sold, but we also will receive more from a house with a family on it and bring more finances into the city. That's just my opinion.
Go right ahead, Director Clyburn. These are your items.
So, as far as the plan for building and development, I absolutely agree with you. And we do have a plan. Right now, we have over 2,000 publicly owned lots. So we're in no danger of getting those out. There's some side lots that's already that was in the queue that we're working to move, but we're also working to identify areas where the city, the state, the county has the biggest concentration. And we work with those entities to put out RFPs, RFQs for development for those areas. So we aren't selling in every area. We have the target areas we're not selling in per the ordinance. It's just some of the lots that was already in the queue. So there will be developments happening as soon as we get more workshops on, because I don't want to just come. But I have a stack of developments that I need to get in front of you. But we have to work that through the schedule so we can bring them in to start presenting them to the council and workshop to move them forward. More of the plan, some of the infill housing that you've been talking about. All of this stuff is identified per the master plan, per the downtown strategic plan. Everything is planned out. We got to get in front of you with it for our development plan. Right now, we're working through the queue.
Okay, so that's cool. I understand that. But some of the houses that were on those lots, I guarantee you, they meet the size of rebuilding a house on that lot. So if we're not assessing it, then we're still not doing what the charter said, for one, since we love that part. And 2,
for the city to assess?
Yeah, we're supposed to assess or find out what size, if we don't know. Cause I know
when it
some
comes
people
to a
who
residential side
have,
lot.
so for example,
Mhm.
let's just say, somebody just bought a house.
Mhm.
And they put a driveway right there.
Mhm.
Did their driveway go into the other person's lot? You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I know that some houses on Rhode Island
Mhm.
are much bigger than other lots. So every lot is not gonna be the same size. So if you were to do some of those lots on Rhode Island,
Mhm.
they would not fit into this. They would not. Rhode Island, California, Massachusetts, they would not fit in just, we gonna give it to you because it's in the queue. Because once you measure it, it's gonna say it should be built. You get
All
what I'm
of them,
saying?
all the properties that's in the queue aren't going before you. So, yes, there are due diligence that's going on.
Okay, I just want to.
Yeah, I want to let you know that there is a plan, and I don't want to come every meeting and sell side lots. I do want some development, we do need to.
And I don't mind anybody having a side.
I see your hand, Madam Pro Tem.
Interrupted. But I don't mind anybody having a sideline. I just wanted to point that out, that, and also make sure that these people know what's required. There's a fence in 6 months, unless you come and talk to
I didn't
you.
read that,
Yeah,
but okay.
yes, it is.
It says secure.
Yes,
It
it
didn't, it
is.
didn't say.
We'll talk about it later, but yes, it is. Whatever, and if they don't do whatever they need to do,
Once you mentioned it, does say things.
It say secure, but we can take a look at it.
okay?
Okay,
So I
don't-
don't want people
don't leave
to
yet.
think they, you know, they don't know, and I keep saying that, in the building department,
Well-
et cetera, we need to let them know, and our forms are outdated.
Yeah, so
So
we
we
are
need to sit
updating
down
everything right now. And along with the policy and procedures to match the ordinances and to match the charter, all of that stuff is being created right now.
Thank you.
Okay, I saw Madam Pro Tem, her had her hand up, so I don't want you to leave.
Mr. Clyburn, how do you decide which houses and which lot, I mean, which lots go into the queue?
No, they
Because-
were already in there.
No.
So when it comes, so when someone comes in to make an offer to purchase, right? You know, we bring it in, we take it through the administration, make sure they don't owe any taxes, any water, any enforcement issues. And it comes up, we'll take a look at it, see if it's in our identified area that we want development. And if it is, then, you know, we'll send them a letter. All right, so now everybody that's coming in to purchase property, if they're denied, they get a letter on why they're denied. If it's old money, whatever, and they could call my office. We take the call, they could fix it, or if it's the simple fact that we're looking at, that's an identified development area, you know, we're not selling lots right there, then that's the response also. So everything is being looked at based off the master plan and how we look to want to move the city forward for development.
So what about the people that have their receipts that asked to buy lots before 2021?
Hmm.
Because this is from 2021, 2023,
Mhm.
like that. So what about the people before that? And they haven't been notified to come in,
I don't have anything prior to.
prior to what, 2021?
Mhm.
Wow.
So some of the, like last meeting, when you was like, well, just say 18, and that's one of the older ones that we had come in because we can't go off the old application because they may owe something. So we'll communicate. So every folder that was on the desk, I've been through. So if it's in the folder somewhere that is not privy to me or somewhere else, if you know somebody in particular is looking and had a lot in, tell them to come back to the real estate window. We are moving the process through a little bit faster now for them to get some type of feedback from the department. So unfortunately, that's just where we at with information and files. I dug through everything that I could find. And those are the things that we're moving forward with. Some of the people now aren't interested. Some of the people owe, so now they're getting back into compliance where they're paying off. So some of the ones that might be owed like that, they may owe taxes or owe water, and they're working out the water and the taxes situation before it comes back. But every folder that was left, I've been through.
Thank you.
Director Clyburn, before you leave, let's say, and we have to do this, I have to play devil's advocate. Let's say there is a citizen that has some documents from 2019, 2018, and they're compelled to come forward to try and secure the lot that's next to their property. Would you be willing to entertain, even, now mind you, if they're not in the queue, but if they have the documents, we know how it used to be. We know there was a lot of, we were still an analog community. We're not digitized. So there are some
We're working
people.
on it.
Yeah, there are some people that may still have who are not privy to these exchanges that we have at city council meeting, just a regular rank and file citizen that's going to work every day. If it comes to pass that one of those citizens who has old documentation would like to still entertain getting a side lot, would you be open to communicating with them?
Absolutely. We take all applications.
Okay,
You know, so we give them their due diligence. You gotta have, you know, your process, your due process.
okay,
So, but at the window, at the real estate window now, we're only taking complete applications. So we're
Gotcha.
not just taking somebody's money, you know, we're making sure that the applications are complete and looked at that level before we push it through the system.
okay. Thank you, sir. So I don't see any additional hands. We can go ahead and vote on item 7A. This is the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 16027 Edward Street to the adjacent property owner at 16025 Edward Street. Mr. Lou Bishop, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 7A?
Councilmember Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin? Which one are we talking about? Oh, Edward Street?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item 7B, this is a resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 56 Beresford to the adjacent property owner at 60 and 64 Beresford. That is Mr. Lauren McGee. Council, what's your pleasure on item 7B?
I move to approve with a question.
Chair offers a second. Would you go ahead with your question, ma'am?
Are they next to each other?
So,
The numbers don't appear.
if I'm not mistaken, Mr. McGee bought one of those lots from the county. He owns the two lots next to his house. And I believe he acquired one of those lots from the county, or both of those lots. I wish Mr. McGee, who's normally here, he must be. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Ms. McGee. I couldn't see you on my computer.
We own the lot right next to us, I'm assuming that's 60.
Yes, ma'am.
We trying to buy the one next to that. Well, that's what that is.
Okay,
So with this approval today, that means you're on just two.
Correct.
additional questions?
Not counting the house. You own the house.
You own the house and then you already have that lot, you
Then
want the
you have a
next,
lot next to the house.
and then you want the next.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thanks.
So now my question becomes, I don't think according to what we've been doing, we can't sell him that lot.
He's the adjacent property owner.
But I mean, even outside of the adjacent property owner, this is development plan in there, so he gives some of the development intake plan. So it's just not residential adjacent side lot, is the next one.
And they're well kept.
Right. It's three.
Right.
He's taken care of since the day we moved in.
Yes, ma'am.
I am totally aware of that. I just want to make sure that, so prior to now, no, sorry, I'm talking to the one. Prior to now, we haven't been giving people lots next to each other, because that's not what the charter said, or that's not what we were doing. Because once you give them those lots, as Mr. Carlton just said, you have to have a building plan. So that goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, based on the size of what we're giving. So now he would have two lots of a great number of size, you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
And so, but he already said he's submitted a building plan
Okay.
for it. So I'm sorry, a development.
The ordinance calls for development intake.
Okay, so on item 7B, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ashafi?
I'm sorry, Council President. I'm looking at 3 lots here. Or am I reading this incorrect?
No, you're not reading it correct. This is a property owner who already owns he is the adjacent property owner for those other lots. He's owned them for years. So right now, we have a call
Okay.
for the vote on the floor.
Now, hold on a second, I'm just trying to understand here.
Sure.
Okay, so he owns the house?
Which is what number?
64.
Okay.
64.
Is the driveway that you put in, is that another lot?
No.
Or was that a part of the house original? Okay, and then he owns a lot next to him.
Right.
And then the one he's trying to buy from us. Okay.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 7B?
Councilmember Ashafi?
No.
Councilmember Martin?
No.
Councilmember Manica,
I'm looking at it right, yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
I need some more clarity too, y'all, because on this sheet, it's like 3 lots. Your address is, what did you say your address was?
My address is 64.
Your address is 64, and on this, it says 60, 56, and 52. That's
But it's only,
It's on the letter.
because we already live in 64.
right,
He bought, I guess it's 60 next door.
yes,
It's a lot in, then he wants to buy 56, which is just adjacent to that.
okay,
That's just it.
right. Okay, so, yes,
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
Yes.
Lauren, he got a lot today. Okay, moving on to item 7C, resolution to sell the vacant residential side lot at 64 Winona to the adjacent property owner at 70 Winona, Nolan Perkins. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve with questions.
I second.
Your questions, please?
Okay, so, this lot is really interesting. Because apparently somebody's been dumping in this lot. There's a lot of debris there and somebody's been dumping in it. Is the property owner here, somebody that's representing it? Could you explain to me what's going on with that lot?
Well,
Cause I see a lot of debris.
first of all, I'd like to say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, when I moved in the house approximately like 6 years ago, the last administration, they dumped a lot of garbage there and they told me they was gonna come and, come and pick it up, because me and my neighbor been taking care of that lot. And they never came and picked it up, and it just got worse and worse. And now the people who got the contractors cutting the grass for the school, they're dumping there. They dumping their grass clippings there, and the rats. I had to move out the house because my fiance, the rats, I work nights, and when I'm not there, she have a fit. The rats run. I had to rebuild my front porch because they was running up under the porch, and so I had to rebuild a porch. And now we can't get nothing done with the lot. I've been trying to buy it for a couple of years, and I just.
So the previous administration has dumped, and whoever is cutting the grass for the school
is dumping
is
out.
dumping.
Yes.
Somebody make that make sense to me?
Nobody
If
here
you go
from the previous
If you
administration.
look at the lot now, I mean,
I got a question.
Council Lady Martin was there, she's seen it, and I talked to Councilman, they seen it personally, and it's a mess, and it's getting worse.
I mean, it is a hot mess back there.
And it's a tree that fell on my camper. It's a tree that was on that lot that fell, and it's on my camper, so I just don't know what else to do with it. I mean, it's so much garbage in there now, it's just, I don't know what else to do with it, but other than try to get help from the city to try to help move it.
Didn't you say you were also getting cited?
I got cited at least 6 times for the lot, and I don't even own it.
How you
but
get cited for a lot you don't own?
The magistrate, he seen that I didn't own the lot, and he took all the tickets off, but he kept coming. The guy kept coming. The ordinance man kept giving me tickets. I told him I own a lot, and he just kept giving me tickets.
Who's the ordinance man?
Malone or somebody?
Really? Really?
Yes, sir.
Have you occupied the lot at all? Have you used it for anything?
I can't. I mean, the only thing me and my neighbor, we try to cut the front, to make it look presentable, but the back is just, that's where everything is. I done seen every animal in there, rat, possum, coon. I done seen everything over there.
So let me make sure I'm following you. You're trying to take ownership of this and become the custodian of this property, correct?
Yes, but I need the city help to clean the stuff out that they put in there, because I can't accept a lot in that condition, because then I just be getting tickets.
Hold on just a second, sir. We have our DPW director who wanted to address that.
Hello. 64.
64 Winona. Yeah.
Okay, so we're owned by the city currently, right?
Yes. Yes.
So they'll be over there this week to make sure that it's clear.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to approve the sale of the residential vacant lot at 64 Winona to the adjacent property owner at 70 Winona. Ms. Martin?
Yes. How do you plan to use that lot?
Well, I plan on just basically having me a garden, if that's okay. I just want to have a garden. And, you know, just keep it up because it's terrible.
You know, see, here's the thing. I was just discussing this not too long ago that, you know, there's, you know, I agree with Manica that, we're selling these lots and, people are like, we want to fence them in, we want to do a garden. And I'm thinking that at this point, you were talking about there was rodents and rats and everything like
That's the
that.
main reason why I want to take over it, because I can maintain it. At least, you know, I could cut the grass. I mean, like that, I can't do anything.
Right, but what I'm thinking, if we got what, 2,000 lots, right? And then if we have all these people growing gardens, we're definitely gonna have like squirrels and rats and raccoons and all these other stuff.
No, we're not. No,
Oh, we're not?
no, I've been growing food in my house for 15
I've been
years.
growing food too, and I get squirrels and everything that grab my
I had no
tomatoes.
rats.
Like maybe I grab,
no
maybe
rats.
my tomatoes are sweet. I don't know.
I had no
I'm
rats.
just saying, I do have that issue. My neighbor grabs my tomatoes and the squirrels grab my tomatoes. But I also, yes, and I do have a compost and everything like
Squirrels are
that.
delicious.
You said what?
Squirrels are delicious.
Well, you're gonna have to teach me how to roast a squirrel.
They're
I've never had squirrel. But what
Okay,
I'm saying
let's make
is,
sure we stay.
here's my thing, and so I'm not saying it's a no for me, but what I'm saying is, at this point, at some point, we need to build a community piece where if we got all these people growing gardens, we're going to need some type of like farmers market in Highland Park. That's something that needs to be considered at this point. That's all I want to add. With all these, if you're growing a garden, I'm growing a garden, you're growing a garden, Lou, you're growing a garden, everybody's growing these gardens. Mama Sue, you're growing a garden. At this point, what I'm saying is we need to have that type of structure, Carlton.
Well,
Is there a developer that even would be interested in that coming in? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
I understand
that's
that.
all I'm saying.
Okay, so Ms. Manica, after you, we're gonna go ahead and call for the vote on item 7C.
Nope, I wanted to call for the vote.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So Madam Clerk, would you call for the vote on item 7C?
Councilmember Shafi,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. You got a lot today, sir.
Mr. Nolan, on behalf of the city, we are very sorry about the tickets.
Yes.
Very sorry.
Yes.
On behalf of the city, I am very sorry, because that shouldn't have happened to you.
And the dumping.
Please forgive us.
And the dumping.
Thank you, Council. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to item 8 under City Council, 8A. Okay, so we're moving on to item 8A under City Council. That is the resolution to approve the location agreement between DTE kiosk bill payment system between the City of Highland Park and DTE. City Council, what is your pleasure on item 8A?
I move to place the DTE bill payment kiosk at 13233 Hamilton, Highland Park, Michigan.
We have a motion to approve the resolution for the resolution to approve the location agreement between DTE kiosk bill payment system between the City of Highland Park and DTE. The chair will offer a second. Floor is open.
I got a
I
question.
do want to state, before your question, let me state this to what you said earlier. The reason why I said Chicago is because it is DTE's program and that's where they started it, I believe. And so that was the only reason, not in regards to size, but in regards to the state. And I do believe that there is someone now stationed, because I went over to the police station and there was somebody at the front desk. So I'm gonna let the chief, I guess, be standing here so that he can give you information.
Or we could just vote.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Martin.
Mr. Shafi.
What?
I'm sorry, Mr.
Oh,
Shafi,
go
you
ahead,
had
Mr.
questions?
Shafi.
Yeah, so just like you, chief, I hate being blindsided as well. You know what I'm saying? And I thought we had an understanding that if there was a disagreement, that we would talk to each other and not be public about it. But I am really offended at the fact that the full story wasn't given to the public. Now, excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
The full story wasn't given to the public. She said it herself that she was not made aware that the second option for the kiosk was at the rec center. The rec center is extremely secure. It's got the green light system there. It's got cameras everywhere. Police are running in and out. If it's safe enough for our children to run in and out and operate on a daily basis, why not the kiosk? All I'm saying is you guys aren't open as much as you should be because you're somewhat understaffed. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying no to the kiosk, Ms. Ford. I'm saying it can be placed at a better location where the people can get to it on a daily basis. Because even if we place it at the police station, I think maybe you could probably do 3, maybe 4 days out of the week.
It'd be 5.
Okay, it'd be 5 days out of the week from 9 to 5:30.
It's 8:30 to 4:30, right?
Okay, 8:30 to 4:30. Okay, so what happens to those residents who are just getting off of work? Because I know I used to get off of work at 4:30. What happens to those residents who just getting off of work at 4:30? This is their last day, and now they have to run around and look for a kiosk because the one that's actually close to them closes at 4:30.
What happens now?
But the rec center is open most of the time from 9 to 5:30. Sometimes, depending on what's going on there, they can be open all the way up until 7 o'clock at night.
Same with the police department.
Okay, so I'm just saying the full picture wasn't given.
So if you can, let me address what you're saying. First of all, we do have an agreement about being blindsided, and that's simply because there's a lot of disinformation as well as misinformation that's being spread in this city. So I had nothing to do with this coming up. We merged a chief, sit with the chief meeting and a block club meeting. I went up there, was speaking. Several citizens asked me, what's the deal with this kiosk? Why did it get voted down? I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask your council. They're the ones who voted it down. That was the extent of it. I didn't draft this resolution, so I can't even speak to it because I haven't seen it. But what I can tell you is this resolution is brought to you because the citizens want it. Now, in terms of the other option, I did contact DTE and told them, listen, we're not interested. We can't get a contract approved. So, however, they're willing to put it in maybe the water department or the rec center. DTE said, no, our program is for police departments and that they're not interested. So to answer your question, we did explore that option, but it wasn't an option based on the people providing it. So what we've done, we also addressed your other concern. As you know, we had an officer in there before. He was dealing with a lot of health issues. He wasn't able to constantly man the desk. So ultimately, he made a decision that he was going to retire. Based on that, we have staffed that position with another person who's now committed Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. Okay. The goal is ultimately to be a 24-hour operation. But as you know, we can't move our entire staff there because we're jumping through some hurdles, some financial hurdles, a few other things. But ultimately,
It needs to be finished.
yeah, everything. So once we can achieve those goals, then definitely we're going to be a 24-hour operation. So that is our intention. But to talk about this and to say that I somehow blindsided you cannot be further from the truth.
Okay.
I also received a call from one of the council members stating that there was something going around on Facebook about how can we have a kiosk there when we can't even keep track of a safe or something along those lines. Something that was somewhere on Facebook. I searched everywhere, I can't find it, so I don't know what forum it was on. However, that is completely false information. It was based on our property room, and it was alleged that our property room officer took a safe from the property room. That is not further from the truth. We have one safe. The safe was moved from City Hall in this basement where we flooded to our new building and put in the new property room. Correct. The process is we're trying to bring our property room up to the standards that basically the Michigan State Police follow. We want to have everything barcoded. We have 26,900 and something pieces in our property room. We should probably have about 10,000 pieces at best. So we're in the process of inventorying everything, barcoding everything. So again, constant disinformation and misinformation is being spread to the residents about our community, about our police department, about our council, about the mayor, about legal, about everyone, all rumors. So that's why I come up here and I explain to you factually what's going on, because there's no truth to it. And quite frankly, it's getting old, man. It's getting old. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm the one that sent him that information because people are calling me and asking me. So immediately, when they ask me about anything in any department, I'll reach out to that department. Then I do that, chief. Don't I
Yes, ma'am.
always do that?
Well, I didn't want to put your name
I
out
don't-
there, but you did, you did contact me.
Right.
And again, my point is, people call you, give, wrong information. They call Miss Manica, they call Mr. Shafi. And if it was some truth to it, because there's been truth to other things, I say, yeah, that's partially true, or that's factual, this and that. There's absolutely no truth to that. But I do appreciate you reaching out and bringing that up, because if that is the information that's being spread to the public, it's important that the public know that that's 100% untrue. And like I said, we get so off track in this city. It's getting to be sad.
It
really
is.
Okay,
So-
so my only concern was, because in the actual resolution,
Yes, ma'am.
is DTE charging the city?
There is no charge to the city.
Are they paying the city to keep it in the?
We're not getting paid to keep it. We're not being charged to keep it. It's simply a tool that they're allowing the residents to have. That's it.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
had, we didn't know that they only put their kiosks in police stations because.
I didn't know that either until you brought it up until you guys brought it up about
That
the
wasn't shared.
water
at the last
department.
Council meeting with us. We didn't know.
Because I didn't have an answer. I didn't know. So we reached out, we said, hey, what about our rec center? What about our water department? Even our water department's right next to the police station for now. So we're like, what about the water department? They said, no, our program is to put it into police stations. We're not interested in any other city buildings. We said, okay. So,
now that we have it back on the agenda, we've had some discussion. Ms. Martin? Yes, ma'am, I saw your hand. I was ready to call for the vote.
You said you saw my hair earlier.
No, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Question, okay. What are the hours and the days of operation currently?
so for us, it's Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30.
8 to 4?
8:30 to 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah,
And you said Monday through Friday.
correct.
So if somebody wants to pay on the weekends, then what?
Well, they would have to explore one of the other options that they're currently utilizing. Because simply we're not open.
Right, so Saturday and Sunday,
Right now, we're
you
not.
better wait until Monday to pay
Yeah, I mean, I don't, all I can offer right now is Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Because we don't have a budgeted position to just add people to security.
Okay.
So it's not, it's a difficult process.
it. And then my next question is, when did they only do the kiosks in the police department?
I have no idea. We reached out to them and we offered these other options. They said that the program was to put them in police departments.
Because I used to pay mine.
I think they
At
have one at
kiosk.
Glory or something like
They
that.
have one at Fuckers Hope.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did they move that? Did they stop doing that?
I don't know. All I can tell you is I know they expressed that they had some concerns about kiosks being stolen because they're like ATMs.
Right.
So they've been stolen from sites. So I think their goal is to get away from that, but I can't speak for DTE.
Okay, so we will move on to the vote of this item for item 8A. That is the resolution. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this resolution back up. That is the resolution to approve the location agreement for DTE kiosk bill payment system between the City of Highland Park and DTE. Madam Clerk, for 8A, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
You want it, you got it. I don't want to hear not one complaint about it. Yes,
Councilmember Martin,
not one.
No.
Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you very much, Chief. So under item 8B, this is the request to schedule the public hearing for the fiscal year 2024-2025 Budget. Council, what is your pleasure?
Make a motion to schedule the public hearing.
We have a motion on the floor from Council Pro Tem, second by Councilwoman Manica. Madam Clerk, this is the request for the public hearing for the budget.
I don't have that in my packet.
It's just a request for a public hearing. There's nothing other than a request.
Oh, okay, so there's no paperwork, it's just a request.
Yeah,
Okay.
It should be in your
No,
packet.
It's a-
on
it's-
item-
a
it's
single
in your-
sheet, looks like this.
I do not have it.
okay, so, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 8B? It's a request to schedule a public hearing.
Oh, here it is, I'm sorry, I moved it. Yeah, I got it.
Councilmember Ashafi,
For April 15th, yes.
Not for April 15th. No, the public hearing is scheduled for,
I'm sorry, I meant May 20th.
mhm.
Okay, yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tim Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes. So we're gonna have a special meeting on May 13th. Special budget workshop for this. Next Monday, May 13th. So that all the questions can be asked right, May 13th.
Workshop.
So that all the questions can be asked by council prior to the public hearing.
Support and what time?
For the workshop? I don't need that. I'll just submit it. I'll just submit a request for a special meeting. Ma'am,
And Council President,
yes.
the departments have heard council. They have heard the requests for graphic representations, charts and pie charts and bar charts. And so they are taking the budget and putting it in a PowerPoint presentation. Color coded and everything. They've been working and they've heard you. So they're giving, so that should be going out to you. That will go out prior to the workshop. Thank you. Okay.
You want to be my first one? Okay, yes, ma'am. So moving on to item 9 of the Department of Engineering. 9A is the resolution to approve the contract for Century Cement for sinkhole catch basin repairs. Council, what is your pleasure on 9A?
Support with questions. I mean.
This a motion to approve?
So moved with questions.
And support.
So made by Councilman Ashafi, supported by Councilwoman Manica. Your questions, the engineering department is here for us.
I'll tell you, when was this brought before council? Because I don't remember this, to be honest with you. I'm sure you're gonna tell me, right?
Well, good evening, first of all. How you doing? Okay.
Either, Mr. Garrett.
So what I can tell you is this would have been brought to council by purchasing. And what we did was they got the bids and we reviewed the information submitted and created a bid tabulation and now we're making a recommendation on who is the low bidder and the qualified bidder. So that's what I can tell you. So our job was to review the 3 bids that we received, and then we put the information together so that you could see, because we heard some concerns about grass cutting and hourly rates and these kinds of things.
Because I asked that question, sir, because March 4th, I remember we had quotes for electrician, quotes for plumber, quotes for street sweeping, and quotes for grass cutting. None of those have come back to us, but I don't remember this from March 4th. That's why I asked, because I don't remember it. And in fact, I'm gonna go back and look at the council meeting videos and verify, because I don't remember this on March 4th. It says, whereas on March 4th, the city approved a resolution to issue a RFQ for 48 sinkholes, et cetera. I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that one.
Okay, so 9A, resolution to approve the contract of Century Cement Inc. for sinkhole and catch basin repairs. Ms. Martin, I see your hand.
Yeah, I got one question. in March, on March 4th, when you talked about it earlier, didn't you explain like the different levels? Like there's gravel, and then you were like, there's hard and there's dirt. Didn't you explain the level back in March?
That was city.
That was city, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
You know what,
so we're talking about the approval of a contract for Century Cement for sinkholes and catch basin repairs.
Council President, until I'm sure about this, I'm going to rescind my motion to approve.
Okay, we'll start over. So on item 9A, the resolution to approve contract for Century Cement sinkholes. Council, what's your pleasure? Ms. Manica, you obviously have to rescind your support, and the floor is open for a
I
motion.
rescind my support. I move to approve the resolution to approve the contract for Century Cement Inc. for sinkhole and catch basin repairs.
Thank you. The chair offers a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 9A?
Councilmember Ashafi,
I'm gonna have to go with no.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to item 9B under Department of Engineering. This is the resolution to accept the 2024 Affordability and Planning AP Grant Award of the State of Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy by the City of Highland Park Water Department. City Council, what is your pleasure on item 9B?
I move to approve a resolution for the acceptance of the 2024 Affordability and Planning AP Grant Award to the State of Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. Guess that's EGLE, by the City of Highland Park Water Department.
Chair
I'll
offer,
second with question.
Pro Tem, seconds. Your questions, ma'am?
Can you explain what these funds are going to use for?
Absolutely. So we have applied for this every year that it's been available. And as Councilwoman Manica said, it's $500,000. And what we put in the application was, one of the most important things was for leak detection. And obviously, we have leak issues in the city.
I have a senior on Geneva.
And it was also, we also applied for lead service line replacement and to update our water reliability study. And that needs to be done in concurrence with all of the settlement stuff that happened and all the water main and whatnot that needs to be repaired over the next 5 to 10 years. So this is financial assistance in helping the city move those things forward.
Can you explain that priority list? Because I see that we're number 15.
I don't know how many, hold on just a second, let me grab some. So what happens is there was $7.5 million available. And so all of the municipalities in the state of Michigan all put their projects together, and then the state goes through and scores them based on need. And so obviously, I don't have the total number of applicants, but I can tell you that it was very, very competitive process. So being scored 15th is not necessarily a bad thing. We've 500,000, and there's a list out there with what the appropriations were for each community. So, I mean, $500,000 out of $7.5 million is pretty good. It's pretty good. And they know the state continues to recognize that Highland Park is trying to move their infrastructure forward. And, we every time that we can, we try to get grants. I know Councilman Shafi saw last council meeting, we had just a list, a tally of the amount of grants and loans that we've gotten over the past 10 years. And so that was not strategic. That was just our ability to try to communicate what financially that we're trying to do for the city. So that's what that was. And we'll update that with this, and we continue. We get requests from CED. We get requests all the time in emails. Can you apply for this? Can you apply for that? So we do that. And you said, yes, you sent it as well. So That's what it is. I mean, but the most important part is the leaks, because that ties into the meters and that ties into the bill that we have and the discussion that we'll be having next Monday. So that's, the leaks are important. So the leak amount comes down, theoretically, the bill should come down, right? So we
So
want
when we do get this grant, how are you gonna address the leaks? We'll talk about that then.
No, so every year that we've got this, we go and we sound the water main. So we attach equipment to hydrants and we listen for leaks. So, you can't, unless you dig up the entire city, it's hard to find. So we go back, we look at customer records, we look at continuous usage, and then we go out with the sounding. We hire a subcontractor that goes out and they sound all around the city. We found a couple of large leaks over the years. And so we'll be doing that with this as well. And then we have to submit that report. Part of that big stack of documents that we got a month ago as part of the settlement agreement is annually we have to do a leak study and we have to report the results of that because we're constantly asking for our bill to come down. So we have to have validation of our usage coming down. So they're actually funding us to go out and continue to try to get our bill reduced. So that's the highest of the high on the things that I listed.
So do our home meters detect leaks, or how do you?
So the home meters that's different. So all those meters, we have the Neptune system at the water department. So what happens with that is we go through those accounts and we know what people's usage patterns are, generally speaking. So, if you have a senior that lives in a home and all of a sudden you see like 5 units of water used, that there's a problem. Toilet could be sticking, could be faucets or whatever, and that's how we address those. But this program is on the distribution, the stuff in the street, the stuff in the road, the big leaks. But I mean, they all add up. You have, several small leaks or you have one big one. It all contributes to the amount of water that we use, which means that the bill is bigger than it should be.
One last question. Explain those silver hydrants. Those are the ones you spray that need to get repaired, removed. It's a lot of silver hydrants painted silver in the city of Highland Park.
Okay, I don't know about that because they should all be painted red.
There are a lot painted silver.
Okay, so we'll.
And I just thought it might.
No, that's not a new thing. We don't like that. We like red hydrants or yellow hydrants.
All right, okay.
Silver is a new thing.
Okay, Ms. Manica, did you have your hand up?
Yes, it's a relationship. with the city of Livingston.
What do you
They
mean?
just happen to be on the same grant.
Yeah. That was just one of the communities. There's no relationship, really. It has anything to do with Highland Park.
Ms. Martin, I saw your hand earlier. Did you have a question?
No.
Mr. Shafi?
This grant money, where is it going to be placed? Is it going to be placed Act 51? Where are you going to put that money?
No, it's not going in Act 51. It would be part of the water fund.
Okay.
It would be, it would be part of the water fund.
Okay.
And I do have one last question or complaint or whatever. A resident on Hill called me today and was complaining about the contractors spraying the sidewalks and messing the sidewalks up. And they told her, she said they were really nasty to her, told her to call the city. So she called me and I heard them talking to her. And then she said, he said, I told you to call the city. She said, I have her on the phone now, city council pro tem for the city of Highland Park. And then he kind of changed his little tone a little bit. And so that's on Hill and they're doing more damage than you.
Is that between what and what on Hill?
Hill, that'll be between Hamilton, 12th, Hamilton and 12th.
Okay. Is that
Right at
the gas crew? You think that's okay? Yeah, I mean, that's usually when you're calling me, and the mayor is, there, we have to stay on them about their day-to-day activities with that particular project. So
thank you.
We'll get on that.
So on item 9B, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll? This is the resolution to accept the 2024 Affordability and Planning Grant Award from Eagle. Would you please call the roll for item 9B?
Councilmember Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Garrett.
Well,
Okay.
Monday. I see you Monday. I'm excited about that.
So we are moving into citizens participation. I'm going to start with the citizens that are online. I have quite a few people online and I have a hand up. I'm going to start with Reverend Turner Johnson. Ma'am, I'm asking you to unmute. Can you test your mic for me, please?
Good evening, Council President.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I tried to get on at the beginning of the meeting for citizens' participation, but I wasn't able to. But I wanted to let the council know that I was the one who recommended that we sign a petition at the Block Club meeting to support the DTE kiosks at the police station, and that there were about 25 residents there at the meeting who signed on to that petition. I was hoping that it would have been presented to council and that I would have had a chance to say this before the vote, but I'm glad that council voted to approve the kiosks, the DTE kiosks at the police station, because it's definitely needed. The other thing I wanted to say is that at the last council meeting, I think that there was a vote not to review the budget, but I'm glad to see at this meeting that reviewing the budget is going forward so that we can have an approved budget for the city to begin operating its fiscal year. So those are the two items that I wanted to share. Thank you, council members, for your support of DTE kiosks and for moving forward with the budget.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I see another hand up. Ms. McDonald, would you unmute?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to address an issue I think Mr. Donovan spoke about. And thank you, Mr. Donovan, for giving that clear understanding that I was trying to work with you all. I just want citizens to know there was a piece put in that resolution that was stated that we could not pay more than $10,000 for a bond. Well, the law says, according to the charter, that we have to pay a bond for whoever it is that is in that office, regardless of what the amount is. So that was one of the reasons I vetoed. I just wanted to make that clear. There is no one trying to stop, again, Mr. Larsky from taking office. We are waiting on a bond. She has cleared she's been cleared through the police department for her background check, and we're waiting on a bond. The bond is supposed to go to, the information goes to, I just want to bring this up one more time so people know, according to the charter, the attorneys have to approve the amount of the bond, make sure that it is sufficient. This is what the charter says. And so they will determine, once they get all of the information back, what amount of bond is sufficient for the city. There's also, I don't know if that is clear, there's also a requirement, I believe, that a bond is received from the county. They handle that. So no one is trying to stop her from having a bond. We are waiting. It's 72 days since she's been appointed. And we are just waiting on the information to be sent to the lawyers, the request for the information, and that information will be given to the lawyers from the departments once he requests it and send it over. Then the bonding company will determine the amount of what the bond is based on all of the information that Mr. Larsky sent to them, background, experience. It's a whole list of things for qualification that determines how much her bond will be. So like the chief said, people are putting out rumors, people are spreading stuff through this city, people are working with people who are here to destroy this city, and we are getting wind of it, and we're putting people on notice. We're not going to tolerate it. So information, people come to you with information, ask them for receipts, ask them for the information to show that this is true, and then you can make a decision. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when we open it up for citizens' participation. I'm holding us to a strict 2 minutes. Do we have anybody who would like to come up and address City Council on the topic of your choosing.
Again, my name is Renee Ford and I live on Buena Vista. Councilman Ashafi. I'm glad you called me out when you said if anything happened, you voting yes for it. I'm glad you finally voted yes for something that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna have issues with anything that comes into the city. No matter what, you're gonna have some type of problem, but the vote, at first, no, but I'm glad you did, but that wasn't why I got up here. But anyway, I would like to know, what are you doing with your District 3 money? I live in District 3 and I've been there for a minute and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen you, haven't seen a flyer from you. I haven't gotten a phone call from you. I would like to know what you're doing with your money. And then everybody, please stop saying, oh, we'll answer it when it comes time for each council person to answer. My questions never get answered for some odd reason. I don't understand that. And I'm beginning to feel some kind of way. So maybe do I have to act ignorant? Or do I have to act some kind of way to get my questions answered?
You can just call me.
But the questions are not to you, so why should I call you?
It's like talking to you.
They're not to you either, Ms. Manica. They're to my District 3 council person. I would like to know where your money is. Are we gonna have a cleanup? Ms. Manica has paid for 2 or 3 dumpsters. I ain't seen a dumpster in 3 yet. Mama Shu has gotten a dumpster. So that means I gotta cut my trash on Avalon. I mean, please tell me when it comes time for you to speak, because you have 25, 30 minutes that you speak about
Not
everything,
tonight.
but what I asked.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Lisa Stolarski, District 3. I am the treasurer that we keep talking about, interim city treasurer. Yes. So I want to correct a misstatement that happened this evening on the part of Mr. Bosnick. Mr. Bosnick stated that he was not aware of a $500,000 bond that I was approved for, but I did send him those papers last week and we discussed them over email. Oh yeah, we did. So I'm just putting the record straight for that. Thank you.
Could I address that?
She still has 2 minutes left, Mr. Bosnick. So did you or did you not receive an email?
I've not received a completed bond for $500,000. There were documents that went back and forth, but there wasn't any complete bond for us to review at this point.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll reset the time. Come on up, sir. How are you?
Hi, how is everybody?
Very good.
Okay, our city areas, Detroit, which Highland Park is the capital of. They had a very, very good weekend. And believe me, we get ourselves together and that collateral situation is coming. Believe me. The bigger they get, the bigger we're gonna get. But anyway, I'm back here about the stop sign or the yield sign that's not been placed on Davison, eastbound. Just tell me what I gotta do. Tell me what I gotta do and I'll do it. I'll research it and I'll talk to, I know Warren Evans on down, you know what I mean? And that's the county road, right?
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure it's somebody I can talk to. Because I just don't feel right each time I ride by there. And I go by there all the time to my grandbaby's house. So please, guys, just, Mr. Garrett, I would like to talk to you before you leave tonight, sir.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
that's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much. I'm almost ready to get him a sign. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, council. Good evening, Highland Parkers. 2 quick things. One, Highland Park has had a farmer's market for the last 4 years. And it will be when produce is ready around July, first week of July. and I'll be putting out notices for when that happens once again. But we have had one for the last 4 years. I actually came here tonight to let everybody know that next Monday at Parker Village, we will be doing another one of our fantastic water giveaways. So from 12 noon to 3 p.m. At 181 East Buena Vista, Parker Village, while supplies last. Come on through and grab you some water.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you gonna? Will you mention where you're located?
I'm sorry?
You said you're on the market. Did you
Yeah,
mention where you're located?
181 East Buena Vista.
Come on up, ma'am.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
On behalf of Highland Park, I wanted to just really apologize to that brother, Sabri. He came here to speak and no one called him up. And even just to acknowledge that he was here, I thought it would have been appropriate to acknowledge that he was here. And I think he could have probably clarified a few things that, that we in the argument right here about, but I thought it was very inappropriate for you all not to call him up. And Mr. Garrett, so in June, all of that money we're being charged on the water, it comes off in June 1st? Hello?
No.
Oh, what do you mean? No, you said June.
I did not say June.
Yeah, I guess you said June. Did he say June? Yes.
Temporary budget.
A temporary budget, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We had part of the legal set.
Come on.
I'm telling you that.
Oh, I'm just asking because
we had a budget that we had to adopt in the middle interim.
And you put us in y'all.
What?
You putting us in it, but you said June. Yes.
The answer was we had to adopt temporary rates
Yes,
in
new
June
language, I don't like.
for June and December for 6 months. Okay, so that's what happened. We had to do it in the middle of our fiscal year. We had to adopt by the end of the year for the last 6 months in this, and now we're getting ready to have a workshop to reevaluate that. I didn't say that it was coming off.
You said June, yes, you did. Did he not say it was gonna give it
again in June.
Uh-uh.
I don't tell stories. I'm just telling you.
That's a story. That's like a whole story. Like in the meantime. Yeah, you said till June, 6 months. I knew that was a story because I'm figuring like, why would you put it even on the lot? The lot's already a bunch of bull, but to throw that extra money on a lot, an empty lot.
Thank you, Ms. Fry. We had 2 minutes.
Let it come off on the lot or something.
Thank you, Ms. Fry. We had 2 minutes.
Hey.
Thank you, Ms. Fry. We had 2 minutes.
I know, but this is important when you.
I know, and I went over 2 minutes. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Tammy Stafford, resident of Highland Park. Hello.
Evening.
Is Mr. Clyburn here?
He is maybe in his office. I don't know if he left the building yet.
Can somebody contact him, please?
His email. Can someone? I don't. I'm right here. Can you ask me? Can I contact him? I don't know where he is.
Can someone contact him? Thank you. Juan, I just wanted to ask you a question.
Well, ma'am, could you while we wait on him, can you have the next person go ahead and speak? Sure. I don't want to cut your 2 minutes. I'll start over when it's your turn.
Hi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. If the council will indulge me, I'm a little nervous. My name is Sierra Hewling. I represent the church on the corner of Woodward and Highland, Prayer Temple of Love Cathedral, and I'm here on behalf of our board of directors. We are requesting a name change for the street at the corner of Woodward and Highland Street to be changed to our late and great pastor, St. Richard A. Smith. He passed away in April the 16th, 2020, due to COVID. I'm sorry. I am a product of that church. I've been a member of the church for 30 years, and I would not be where I am without it. St. Richard A. Smith has been a pillar of that community for 50 years now. Our church anniversary is 50 years. 50 years we've been on the corner of Woodward and Highland. I'm a graduate of Michigan State University, 2 degrees. I have my master's, and I'll be attending medical school, all because of Prayer Temple of Love Cathedral and the work that Pastor Smith has done. The board of directors sent me with a letter, and it's pretty lengthy, I'm sorry, but I'll get through it as fast as I can. The Board of Directors of Prayer Temple of Love Cathedral humbly requests the street name change for the Highland Street. It is our request that Highland will carry out the name of our late pastor, Reverend St. Richard A. Smith. Our pastor, A. Smith, passed away April 16, 2020 due to COVID. Reverend Smith and the Congregation of Prayer Temple of Love Cathedral moved into our current edifice located at 12375 Woodward Avenue, July 1977, and has been actively involved in this community. Reverend Smith has been an advocate for the city of Highland Park. He worked tirelessly with many community officials, Highland Park, and maintained to beautify the city and maintain peace on Highland Street when Highland became bombarded with drugs, prostitution, and other illicit activities. However, working closely with former Mayor Blackwell and Miller and serving as a Human Rights Commissioner, as well as the City Council, he organized Operation Feed All, By Wayne Metro, and Feed the Community at 17 Highland for 25 years. Currently, the church has partnered with Forgotten Harvest for bi-monthly food giveaways. Reverend Smith also organized the PTLC drug program, mental health counseling with licensed therapists, Wisdom Homework Help, and PTLC Saturday Educational Tutorial Computer program for students in kindergarten through high school, certified with teachers. All programs were housed and based in the church's activity center at 17 Highland. The Board of Directors, PTLC, is requesting that the installation of the street sign take place. Our anniversary is May the 31st of this year. I urge the council, if at my request, if we will put this on the agenda for the next meeting for an official vote. I don't know how that goes, but I emailed the clerk's office this letter as well. I just hadn't received any response as of yet.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm
on
gonna,
that.
so I'm gonna stop you right there, and I'm gonna thank you so much for bringing that too. You just told me the most important thing. I was gonna ask for a digital copy. The clerk wants to know.
When was it emailed?
I spoke to the clerks. Well, I don't know if it was the clerk, but I spoke to someone at the number that also on the website, and I emailed it twice, actually. I emailed it, I think it's written down in my planner, but I know I emailed it twice, and I recently emailed it last month, at the beginning of last month. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it was spammed, but once I spoke to the clerk, she said, or whomever I spoke to.
Okay.
Whomever, they said that if I hadn't received a notice, that I had to come to the meeting and speak during open.
Correct.
Open.
And so what I want to do is, first, I want to thank you. You way over your time, but it was well worth it. I appreciate what you're trying to do. And we're not in a position, city council is not in a position to change the names of streets, but I'm sure that working with the administration, we can find some way to honor your pastor.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's 12375 Woodward Avenue, but yep, it's right at the corner. It's the old Episcopal church. It's the cathedral looking church on Woodward and Highland. The street name that we want to change is on Highland, like right at that corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you so much for your time.
So I'm gonna get you back to the podium. I don't see Mr. Clyburn. That means he's probably gone for the day.
I was unsuccessful.
Okay. So, yes, ma'am.
Ms. Manica, have anyone reached out to you from the McLean Block Club regarding the issue with flowers?
They did, and I talked to them and we discussed that there would be flowers there.
Okay, do you know exactly when that's gonna have like a time span?
I told them the flower after I go to the flower show.
Okay, and also, did you distribute any garbage cans for McLean and Farron Park?
Garbage cans?
Mm-hmm. Did you like offer it to anybody in those block clubs on those two streets? Garbage cans or dumpsters?
The dumpsters were for the entire district.
Mm-hmm.
So they were put in different places.
Mm-hmm.
And the garbage cans were for the city.
Okay. All right. And I just want to know, are you having any problems with the mailing system for your news regarding mailing different documents?
I don't have a horrible problem.
Okay, have they came to any resolution? All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You coming back?
It's a little late, so forgive me. I get real familiar when I get real tired.
Yes, ma'am. I feel you. I'm on 4 hours today.
And so I have to be humorous to keep myself up. I started my own time counseling. So I came back because I left the comment when we were talking about the treasurer. I said my spidey senses were tingling, right? I never got into why. And so I think I need to share that as my concern. We've been without a treasurer for what now, 72 days? What institution, what job holds a position for 72 days because someone is taking them that long to get qualified for it? So that's my first question. And then my second question is, for those who want her, and I, Miss Lisa, I don't know anything about you, so please don't take it personal. But for those who really want her, let's let her run. And and I believe that Wayne County can assist us with some of those treasurer duties. But this back and forth is unacceptable as a city, as a citizen returning. I left when it was amazing. I came back when it's not so much. So I need to make sure we're clear that 72 days is a very unacceptable time frame for a treasurer to not be seated. And we're coming up on tax season, right? Am I right, city manager? Somebody help me out?
Yes.
So we're coming up on tax season. So again, there's got to be other things that we can come and play with, because I don't want to be here next week, 2 weeks, talking about it again, a month, September. Somebody said I will, but I hope not. I hope you guys get it to an understanding. There are other options. I'm not turning Miss Lisa down. I'm just saying this may not be her time, right? And so we just have to move accordingly. So that's it for me. And I just needed to say that. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Hello, Council. Dan Kenneth, 41 Paris. Good to be here. You know, I sit here in the front because I'm not good in the back. I'm ADD, and everything that I see will lose my mind. But I was flipping through Facebook this morning, and to my surprise, Council President, you were being interviewed by Charlie Langton on Channel 2. I got to tell you, I was so impressed. I really appreciated it. And it made me feel good about your interview. You sounded really good. The city sounded great. And I just wanted to say that for maybe the last person talking today on a good note. So thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay. I just put my watch back on.
Just real quick, I want to apologize to Councilwoman Robinson last week. I love Highland Park. I've been here for a very long time, and I never want to be disrespectful. And we tend to fight, but as you saw tonight, we come together. And all we need is another. I was talking to Councilman Al Shopping today. All we need is another big project to bring us all together. Yeah. Just like we had the water project. Right. Something that everybody's getting something from, some big thing that we need in the city. We've got nothing but good things ahead of us, and being disrespectful, you have to come in and you have to check yourself, and you have to admit if you were wrong, and you apologize if you were wrong, and then you move on, because it's a lot. You've got a whole community to rebuild. The chief is right. There's misinformation. Trump calls it fake news.
Amen.
But we have to work through all of that, because at the end of the day, the city's got it made now. The city really has put a lot of things behind it. That's a great opportunity, and we don't need to go down petty and fighting each other. That's right. So if we fight, we got to make up after. That's right. That's why I was not, I love council. I love everybody, because if I didn't, I couldn't come up with it. There you go. Yeah. And so I don't want her feeling a certain kind of way when she's talking, because you know how I am about the bleeding. and the water and all of that. And they're just getting, hold it, exploded out there. But the bottom line is, I was out of line and wrong. And if I'm out of line and wrong, I will admit it. And that's what we have to do. And we're gonna move on, and we're gonna remember these days, and it's all gonna work out in the end. So that's all I want to say. Yeah.
So we were at the end of citizens' comment. You came in with the last 2 minutes.
Well, that's
Can
how
you state
God-
your name?
That's why God always send it. He always make it the last and the best and the best.
You
My
got
name
2
is
minutes.
Stephen Lawrence Bonnell Jr. I'm quite sure some of you already heard of me. I can't use 2 minutes to speak, and I am a citizen of Highland Park, so I really like to
You
have
get
it.
2 minutes, sir.
Well, what I got to say, it can't take 2 minutes, sir.
You have 2 minutes.
No, since we the people and elected y'all, we have more than 2 minutes.
No, sir, you have
Because
2
I done
minutes
sit
in
up
the
here and
meeting.
watch y'all argue for 30, 40 minutes, and ain't nobody back there saying, hey, y'all got 2 minutes. So we the people, we elected y'all, we need more than 2 minutes.
You got 1 minute and 30 seconds.
I don't have a minute, sir.
Yes, you do.
This is God time.
So, and at a
Mr. Ware,
minute
you
and
mind
30
if I have more than
seconds,
2 minutes, please?
those guys are gonna get you off the podium. So please address us, sir.
Because they work for me.
Those bailiffs right there?
Yeah, they work
Would you
for me.
please state what you're here for, sir?
Comment, sir, please.
Please state what you're here to say.
You can be seated, sir. Thank you. My name is Steve Lawrence Bonnell.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm quite sure you guys heard of me. I've been wrong in this community for over 6 years. I've been shot in the head by certain community leaders who have orchestrated things and have signed affidavits with some of your council members in here. Now, I don't know if y'all done already scratched up and got rid of the paperwork. Hey, so be it. Y'all collective family, y'all got to take care of your own. I get that. I ain't here to bash you, but I'm here to talk about the trash that need to be taken out. Some of the seats that y'all sitting in, some of y'all don't need to be there. It need to be people who are means and justice and for the community and want to see people who have investments reap what they sow from an investment instead of getting torn apart, and then get left out. I have been left out. I have been left out. I have been slandered. I have been shaded for something that I'm not even aware of, but it's doing. I have a spiritual mother named Miss Spencer. She said, hey, don't worry about nothing. Everything gonna be all right. But the thing about her, she was 98 years old. Basement flooded, no heat. No one in the neighborhood took care of her but me. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about community and we talk about people loving on one another, what about the elders? What about the young people? Who making the young people take care of the elders? Nobody. Everybody out for themselves on the underhanded plate and trying to grease their hands in their pocket. I'm not about money, I'm blessed. God gonna take care of me anywhere I go. I'd rather be poor than have money because at the end of the day, you get more love anyway. But see, since I've been blessed so much, I look at it like, well, God, what's my design for this interest? Why am I sent to Highland Park? You see what I'm saying? I was sent down here for a mission. And when I really got down here for the mission, it was because of my spiritual mother.
Sir, you had 3 minutes.
I don't have 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. You had 2 minutes.
I'm asking
You
Ms.
had 2
Square.
minutes.
I'm asking Ms. Council Square, can I talk?
No, I'm the chairman of the meeting and I give everybody 2 minutes and change. You got 3.
Okay. I saw you had a thing with Charlie Langston and you said you wanted somebody from Detroit to make it better. I'm the guy from Detroit to make it better, but you looked over me.
I don't recall that. I recall.
You don't recall having that meeting with Charlie Langston?
I watched that video about 40 times and I don't recall anything that you said, sir. So have a good night.
That you wanted Highland Park to look like, maybe we should look like more like Detroit and what was
Huh?
Detroit is there? You have a Detroit
All right,
there.
so we're gonna move into council affairs. We're gonna move into council affairs. I don't know you, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you don't know me. You out there, don't nobody know you.
Okay, so we're gonna move into council affairs, starting with the councilman from the 3rd district.
All right, Ms. Ford. You know, when you clap, you know I love to clap back. Okay, so you asked me a question. You asked me, what am I doing with my district money? Whatever my district tells me to do with that money. That money don't move without one of y'all telling me where you want it to move to. Now, last year, I bought dumpsters for MLK and they did their cleanup down there. I bought dumpsters for a few other spots in my district for those residents who asked me. So I don't think I used more last year than about $1,500 last year. Okay, so this year I've used about $1,500 because I was asked to participate in the Highland Park Parade. They asked us to get a float. So we got a float. Okay, I didn't pay for it in full. Other council members joined in with me and we teamed up together to get the float. But any resident in my district who needs dumpsters, who needs garbage cans, if you need cleaning supplies, that's your money. It's not my money. I don't do what I want to do with it. I do what you tell me to do with it. And if you need a dumpster, Ms. Ford, you let me know. Now, I don't have your number, but I'm pretty sure you got mine. Okay, I definitely don't have your number because you said because you made the statement, I didn't call you. I don't have your number, Ms. Ford. Okay. Did you give it to me? I do not remember it. Hold up a second here. Let me be a nice guy about it. Let me go into my contacts. It's Ford. Hold up a second. Nope, not in my city phone. Hold up a second. Let's go into them contacts. All right, so Miss Ford. F-O-R-D. And that is a negative. The only Ford I got in here is Arisa Ford and Issa Ford.
That's fine, you will get a finish your
Okay,
conversation.
okay. I'm just saying though,
All of a sudden it gets deleted.
why would I delete your number, Miss Ford? What would be the purpose of that?
Go ahead.
Okay. But like I said, if you need something, let me know. Whether you like me or don't like me, it really doesn't matter to me, not one bit. I'm good.
I needed you.
Okay, exactly. I did talk to you on the phone. I talked to you on the phone.
Nobody got in touch with me.
I talked to you twice.
What y'all gonna say?
Okay.
Tell me. Ain't nobody call me.
So again, if you need something, Miss Ford, you're more than welcome to call me and ask for it. You'll get it.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna get out of place right now.
Okay.
You said the citizens asked about doing a float. Is that part of the money, a float, to pay for a float? Right. Because the citizens don't have to ask you to put a garbage can on Hamilton. The city shouldn't have to ask you to walk and meet your constituent. I have not seen you since you've been in office.
Okay.
And it's not about I don't like you, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I just disagree with some of the things, and I know I'm out of place, but this got to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get your haircuts ready to get.
No, I ain't gonna need all that,
Like
Miss
you sit
Ford.
up there and talk about what
We're
you
gonna need
doing
all of
with
that.
District 3.
Mhm.
I would like to see some of these people in District 3 that you even talk to.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I am very visible. You don't come to the United Block Club meeting where District 3 people are there. So I'm really getting sick of what you're saying. I would like to know who these people were that agreed to take this money to pay for a float.
Miss Ford, you know you way out of line, but this is.
No, let her be, let her be. She has the right to speak, let her be.
This is council.
Let her be.
Yes, ma'am.
Let her be.
I will.
Don't interrupt her, let her be.
Every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And first thing my mother say is, we got your money to get you out of jail. Cause she knows one of these days, I'm gonna act the fool. And it needs to be tonight. Because you say what you do for District 3, I haven't seen you in District 3. I ain't seen you in the gas station talking to the bums that's been up there. I have not seen you. I see every other council person. I've seen Ms. Councilwoman Robinson at the rec center. I'm yet to see you, and I'm just about at everything. Anybody can tell you. I go in the grocery store just to talk to people sometimes, because I deal with seniors. So yeah, I'm out of line tonight, but this is not gonna be the last time, because I'm getting sick and tired. You said what you're doing for District 3, and I'm part of District 3.
All right. All right.
But then if you come District 3 than you do.
Amen to that.
And I'm tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. And this McDonald, I know you're gonna call me and say something, but that had to come out. I'm tired of I'm tired of being overlooked at District 3.
Okay. That's cool. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, again, anybody who needs something, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and let me know. I'm tired today. I'm tired of arguing with y'all. I'm tired of going back and forth. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of going back and forth. I'm just drained today, okay? On my way here, I got a headache the moment I walked in here. I'm just tired. You like it the way that you like it? You like the city running how it's running? Enjoy yourselves with it. Why must I go the extra mile to please you? I'm stressed out enough as it is. You have no idea what I do in District 3. And just because I don't show up at your functions at the rec center or these things, I have a reason for not showing up there. Me and the mayor don't get along at all. And to avoid any conflict, I know she's there, I don't show. I know she's there, I don't show. Okay, I avoid the unnecessary. Okay. Because the moment that there's an altercation or a problem, you're not going to ask, well, who started it? You're going to look at the big black guy who seems to have attitude. That's exactly what you're going to say. Okay. And the first thing that is going to come out of your mouth, see, I told you them damn Muslims weren't no good.
Excuse me.
That's going to be the first thing to come out your mouth.
I'm Muslim.
Okay. No, you're not. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
So
I know you are.
So we're gonna have
okay.
ourselves
So you know, all I'm simply saying is
real problem up here.
I can't keep arguing every week, every 2 weeks with y'all about the same thing. So what I do is I work, I do what I have to do to move this city forward. And I'm sorry if you don't see me as much as you would like to see me, but the truth of the matter is we don't travel in the same circles. Even though I live in your district, we don't travel in the same circles. And that's just the reality of it. So anytime that anybody in District 3 needs something, you're more than welcome to give me a call. I am always available. I'm probably one of the few people that answers their phone every single time that you call me. I do not ignore anybody. I try my best not to. And if I missed your call, my brother, I apologize for that. But I definitely talked to you twice. I remember that. And I came over to your neighborhood and walked your neighborhood when you mentioned to me about them vacant streets. And I got Mr. Damian Garrett to come over there with me and to show me personally exactly which streets were being vacated. Your street is not one of those streets. I don't know who the Hamilton group is. I don't know who that is. Yeah. I don't know who they are. I keep hearing.
And she signed.
Okay. So hold on a second. I keep hearing.
Let's keep some order in this room.
I keep hearing the Hamilton group. I would love to know who this group is. But the bottom line, they don't represent this city. We didn't vote on them to represent this city. And what they talking about is pretty much smoke up somebody's ass.
Like they sold everything for me.
Okay. Well, then we need to get to the bottom of that.
Council members involved in Israel doesn't stole some and shared everything too from me.
Okay, well, it definitely wasn't this council member. Okay, I'd rather crash and burn than spend my time in jail for stealing something. See, other people, hold up a second. Other people around here may get away with something, but one thing's for sure. This fat boy sitting here in this seat, I can't even scratch my ass wrong and not be called on. Okay. Yeah, I can't do nothing in here and not be called on. Okay, they call on me for anything and everything I do. So they watching me 24/7. I can't steal nothing here.
Sir, please have a seat. Please have a seat.
Okay.
I see the last thing y'all said.
Sir, please have a seat.
I definitely asked for that.
Sir, please have a seat. Please, sir, please. You know what? We way off the rails.
Okay.
It's something that you don't want to do. You're trying to avoid. I just saw how y'all played the FBI when they came here. You did a forensic check. And the forensic check should have been checked after the fact, not before.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. If the FBI was here, I'm sure I would have talked to him. I'm sure I would have talked to him.
So that got nothing there?
Not since I've been city council president.
So all that on live when y'all said Shay Gibson is here?
Who?
Shay Gibson, the FBI?
That is the head of that's the station chief. If I mention his name, I'm pretty sure, like you mentioned his name now, I'm pretty sure if you mention his name again. So let's stop this right now. This ends now.
Recorders, y'all document it and doctor it to make it look like it exists.
No, this ends. You mentioned his name, and he'll probably watch this video.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get him involved.
Okay.
But like I said, if anybody in District Three,
We wrapping this up? Or you gonna
okay,
go on?
if anybody in District 3 needs something, please give me a call. I'm always available. My city cell phone number is 313-348-1255. You may give me a call. If you need a dumpster or you need supplies, that money is there for you. It's not my personal money. I don't enjoy any parts of it. I don't use any part of it. If you want it, it's yours to use. Knock yourselves out with it. Otherwise, it will sit there. If nobody requests anything from me, it's going to sit there. So having said that, you guys have a lovely evening. Those who like me, I like you too. Those who don't like me, I know you don't like me, but it's still my job to make sure that you get what you need. So bottom line is I represent everybody, whether you like me or not. So please feel free. The council president, I know damn well you hear me talking. I don't interrupt you. I don't cut you off and
my
say,
job is
you
to
had
run
42 minutes. I don't care where I am.
My job is to
Do not
officiate
interrupt me,
this
sir.
meeting.
I have the floor. I will yield back when I'm done.
Not quite.
Bottom line, if you need something from me, please reach out and let me know. Residents, please have a lovely evening and thank you. Oh, good God.
Ms. Martin? Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, all right. Thank you for taking me in. So real quick, I don't really have a lot. Go ahead. All right. So I do want to add this piece real quick. Anybody from District 3 that's ever reached out to me, I do give them City Councilman Ashafi's number, and he has gotten dumpsters last year. He definitely did that for MLK. There was a big cleanup that they did at that park. And then I know there was another resident that had an issue with their house. I also got Mr. Ashafi involved. So there are some things that he does do. I can say that with my personal experience. But I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with, I do have a question for Mr. Bosnick. A couple of questions I wanted to know is, what would it take to get internal controls here at the city? And then I wanted to know, you said there was a list of information that was needed. Do you have the list? What amount would be sufficient for the city? You know, who are we waiting for? Are we waiting for the bond company, Mr. Stolarski? Like, I'm just wondering if all those questions could be answered. Another thing I wanted to address is, the library. I was gonna give an update. So I did get my waiver signed. I got it done May 1st. I'm very excited about that. However, there's nobody that wants to enter the library with me. I do find it very interesting that there was no mention of the HPUDI when I signed the waiver. The first time I ever heard about that company was today here at our meeting. I find that very interesting. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to add. And then Juan Shannon, thank you for letting us know about that market. Appreciate that. And I hope everybody who wants a garden ends up utilizing that. That's all I have to say.
Ms. Martin, you can call me.
Say what?
You can call me.
What would we talk about, Mayor?
The library.
The what?
The library.
What you just said.
About the HPUDI?
Yes, and that nobody wants to go in with you. That's not what they said.
No, I remember you said that Mr. Reese didn't want
I
to go
said
in.
I would have to
and
ask somebody. That my thing exactly was, let me ask somebody who would like to volunteer to go in there.
Right.
I didn't say Mr. Reese didn't say it. I didn't say anybody. I said, let me ask someone. You asked me to go in and I told you I was not because I'm an asthmatic.
Right. You said you didn't feel comfortable going in, and then you said Mr. Reese doesn't feel comfortable going in.
No,
and then you said you
I
have to
did
find
not.
somebody.
I haven't even spoke to Mr. Reese yet.
Okay.
Mr. Reese or the chair or the director. I have not.
Right.
You just signed the waiver. So now I have to go and ask them who would be interested in going in with her. And I was gonna give you that information this week.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm gonna move on to Councilwoman Manica and Council Affairs so we can go ahead and close the meeting out.
Good evening. I think there was a couple of questions in regards to flowers. Not just doing McLean's Centerpiece or Island. I was asked to also do the other islands as well. But my response is that I would wait till after the flower show to try to receive flowers there. So that's the answer to that. Garbage cans or the dumpsters, that was spring cleanup. It was just all the way to 6 Mile and all the way to Tennyson. So they were put in arbitrary places. So next time they'll be put in somewhere else. Now, I cannot put those garbage cans right at your house or on your specific street. If your street happens to be that street this time, then so be it. But that's how that is distributed because it's for the entire district. If I just put it right at your house, it would appear that I'm doing it strictly for you. Okay, in regards to garbage cans, the garbage cans were actually purchased last year and they were put out this year. The goal was to cover Woodward first. And of course, my district. But we also, I believe, got some put in District 2 on the other side of Woodward. Okay, so I'll be talking with Ms. Martin about that. In the meantime, I am looking for other ones, the same way those were purchased to beautify the city, to see if we could go all the way to District 3. But in the meantime, I think, and I hope everybody likes them, they are the blue garbage cans that are now out on Woodward. So that's in regards to my district money, in regards to the question about the flowers. I think I covered everything. In the meantime, also, there should be a flyer coming out soon for a resource and community baby shower that will be held at the police department. Those resources there will be everything from the fire department to Wayne Metro, you know, baby stuff given away to certain anything to say, guys, agencies, you know, that we reach out to for single mothers or, you know, women with children to come out and receive some items. Hopefully it will be car seats, etc. at that resource, but it will also be a resource for the family and for seniors. So again, I know the fire department and the police department actually agreed to also have some resources there along with a lot of other places. We don't have all the list yet, but that will be in June 8th on a Saturday from 12:30 to 4:30. That's it for me. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Pro Tem.
Good evening, everybody. The week that we were to appoint Lisa to interim treasurer, the city attorneys emailed the council a document, which was a quit claim deed suggesting that Lisa and them gave me a house on 80 Louise. Since then, our council president has put it up on his screen for the whole world to see or whatever, which was still illegal and untrue. I've since emailed and sent the proper documents. I have a cashier's check, which is really nobody's business because that was a personal sale back in 2021. I did not foresee being council pro tem. I did not foresee Lisa being interim. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I'm working on it. So I did email the city attorneys for a written apology and a public apology for putting that false information out without getting the complete facts. And now my name and my integrity, well, really don't mean them because who it's coming from, which is Evan Morales, has posted more of my personal things online, which are untrue. He even put my house. I'm glad, I love everybody and everybody love me because ain't nobody looking for me. They don't want to come this way, no way. But anyway, I really need an apology. Also, Mr. Wash was an employee for the city of Highland Park for 70 years.
And as the lady from Pastor Rick's church wants the street renamed after that, the pastor, the senior pastor, I'm requesting a street name after Mr. Warsh on the street that he lives in Highland Park. And I'm also want to rename Rhode Island in regards, and after Martha G. Scott, we would like to celebrate people before they die, because she has done a lot for the city of Highland Park. She was the first mayor, Black female mayor of Highland Park. So I would like to have that street named after her. God bless y'all and good night.
All right, thank you. So a young lady left, but I found out while I was sitting here that city council can prepare a resolution to rename that street after her pastor. It'll just have to be something that we decide upon and approve that. Mother's Day is coming up. It is what, May 19th? May 12th. Okay. My mom don't really do Hallmark holidays, but think about Mother's Day. Think about my mother. She said, son, the truth is quiet and dignified. But she said lies, misinformation, disinformation is always loud. Always loud. The truth stands upright all by itself, but a lie needs all the help it can get to stay upright. The people who are watching this, the people who are sitting in the audience, you have absolutely no idea what goes on behind this thin curtain up here. Let me update you on what I can. Right now, there's open litigation against members of this council. Right now, there's open police investigations going on against members of this council. There's far more going on here than you're aware of, and we can't even talk about it. So you would look at our behavior and would think, what's going on with those people? And you don't really know. You get a spoonful of soup and all you taste is pepper, and you didn't see anybody shaking the pepper in the pot. A racketeer influenced corrupt organization is a group of people who are working together behind the scenes to manipulate the outcome. And it's my belief that that's what we have going on here, a racketeer influenced corrupt organization. I said back in November that I was going to dedicate my time and my energy to making sure that the truth about what's going on behind closed doors comes out into the public light. And just a few months before I took office, a person sitting in a city council seat right now got up and walked around and passed out my personal tax information, property that my wife owned, personal information. They passed it out up and down the rows of this council chamber, unsolicited. These people got on television. They told the most fascinating lies about what took place in an email stream, an email that I keep. And none of you have ever asked to see it. All the newscasters that I asked about, did you read the email? They said, no, I keep that. The gentleman talked about the interview that I did with Charlie Langton. And he said in the interview, I've been trying to get you in this chair for years. Not just him, not just him. I know most of the people at the major news stations. And some of the conversations that they wanted to have, I refused to have. Because I'm a member of this community. Yeah, I'm a lifelong Detroiter, but I've lived here for 24 years. I've raised my children here. And so I believe that the appropriate thing to do to represent this community is to be truthful, to be respectful, and to be dignified. In the midst of all of this BS that's been happening, Glee signed the water deal on April 26th. We should be clapping about that. That part is done. The only thing that we have to do, what you say on Saturday morning, you get up and you clean your house up if you want to go do something else. I don't know what your mother told you to do on Saturday morning. My mother said you get up and you clean this place up, you clean it out. So last year was Mr. Nice Guy. This year I'm gonna be the bad guy, because people like to say, we'll follow the rules and the rules will be followed. It's going to be a hot summer, people. It's going to be a real hot summer. And I can't wait. Having concluded all business related to the city of Highland Park, The chairman will declare this meeting adjourned.
Yes. No, I couldn't find out. No, I have to ask. I have to check with my uncle.
Yeah. Who's
Hi.
a great guy?
I wish. I'm a few credits short.
He was up in Pontiac for.
Oh, that's right. I gotta give Congressman Mayor Phillips' son is a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, Cameron Phillips. He runs the Ascend Foundation.
All right, we have a tough good night.
You too, man. Thanks for sitting in for us.
Okay, I'm like. I did not.
But they. Why?
No.
Why? I was raised in that life here.
Miss Robinson called you, but because these come.
I do, but I'm passing them out tomorrow.
Email it to me so I can print it. Nobody on my side of town never know about
After September, my contract with the school board ends, and we will stop.
Okay.